What's up, team? Today we are talking about creating equations in slope-intercept form. Our learning target for today says I can create an equation of a line in slope-intercept form. So let's make that happen. A reminder for you, slope-intercept form looks like this: y equals mx plus b, where m is our slope and b is our y-intercept. So say you're given this information here. Say you're given the fact that you have a slope of negative 17 over 22, kind of gross, but we can work with it, and you have a y-intercept of 1. And your task is to simply create the equation of the line, or write the equation of a line that uses this information here, that has a slope that matches and a y-intercept that also matches. So we know it's going to look like this, and we just need to plug in these pieces. We need to plug in the blue stuff where the blue is, and the red stuff where the red is, and that's it. That's how to do this. So the equation of this line is going to be y equals m. M is my stuff in blue, so it's negative 17 over 22 times x. Don't forget that x. It's super important. It's pretty easy to miss it. Plus whatever the y-intercept is. Here the y-intercept is 1. And notice here that's the piece that's all by itself on the other side. So we're going to add 1 like this. Go ahead and put a box around it, because you worked hard for that one. Okay, that wasn't so bad. If you're given the slope and the intercept, you just plug in the pieces. Cool. What if you're given a table of data and you're asked the same question? Write the equation of this line. Well, this is a little bit more complicated, but it's not all that crazy. So what we have here is we have some inputs: negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. We have some outputs: 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, and 6. So if you plug in negative 2, 4 is the output. Plug in negative 1, 4.5 is the output, etc. So we're going to create the equation of a line where all of this is true. If you were to plug in negative 2, you'd get 4. If you plug in positive 2, you get 6, etc. So the first thing we need to do is we need to find the slope and find the y-intercept, and then we just put it all together like we did over here. The y-intercept's the easy part, so let's save that for last. The slope is going to take us a moment, but it's not going to be too crazy. The slope, I did that in blue, so we're going to do this in blue. Notice that the x's are each going up by 1 each time, and the rate of change, as we studied previously, is how much does the y change if the x goes up by 1 and only 1. Well, this is sweet, because the x's are all going up by 1 and only 1. So we just need to see how much the y's go up each and every time. So for example, to go from 4 to 4.5, we are adding 1/2. To go from 4.5 to 5, we're adding 1/2, and that pattern remains true all the way down. This tells us that our rate of change is 1/2, therefore the slope of this line also 1/2. So our slope is 1/2. What do I write this? I'm going to write it up here. M equals 1/2. Now, our y-intercept. This one we have to make some observations and recall some facts. Remember, if you're talking about the y-intercept, that's the point on the line that crosses the y-axis. So it hasn't moved left or right in relation to the origin. So if I just have some generic graph down here, and I have a line on that graph, the y-intercept is this point right here. It's where the line crosses the y-axis. So it hasn't moved left or right. So it's going to have an x-coordinate of 0. So on our table, we are looking for the point with an x-coordinate of 0. And whatever the y-coordinate is there, that's the y-intercept. So that is this point right here, because there's a 0 where with the x's. That means that 5 is our y-intercept. So b equals 5. Well, now we have the same information we had a minute ago. Let's just plug it in. So the equation of this line that is described by the data over here is y equals blue 1/2 x plus 5. And then put a big box around it, because that one's done. Do remember what this means, like what the point of this equation is. It means this equation, if you were to plug in negative 2 for x and do all the PEMDAS things, the y would end up equaling, after you simplified all this, the y would end up equaling 4. The same is true for any of these. You plug in 0, you get 5. Plug in 1, you get 5.5, etc. So pretty cool, pretty powerful equation. and I don't think it's too terribly hard to find it. We're going to do just one more. This time we're going to start with a graph, and we're going to interpret all the pieces and figure out what the equation of that line is. All right, here's our graph. Very perfectly done in every single way. It's done well enough for us to be able to tell what's happening here. So we're going to figure out the equation of this line in slope-intercept form. So we just need to find the slope. We just need to find the intercept, plug in the pieces. To find the slope, we're going to utilize rise over run. And we have 3 points on here that are marked. I didn't label them exactly. So this is -3, 6. This one here is 0, 4. And this one over here is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3. I'm noticing I've already made a mistake. This is not 3, 6. This is 3, 5. It's pretty clearly that I wrote a 5 right there. My mistake. Okay, let's find the slope. Let's utilize rise over run. So rise over run, I'm going to start at this point, and I'm going to find my way to this point. So I'm starting at -3, 5, and I'm finding my way to 0, 4. So I'm going to rise. If I go here, I'm going down 1 unit. And how far am I going to run? I'm going to run 1, 2, 3 units as counted here. I ran 3 units. So if I go down 1 and I go right 3, that is a slope of -1/3. So I went down 1, but I went +3 for my denominator there. Okay, so that's going to be my slope in y-intercept form. Let's now locate the y-intercept. The y-intercept is always going to be the point where the line crosses the y-axis. In this case, it's right there at 0, 4. So our y-intercept is 4. Now we just need to plug all the pieces in together. The equation of this line, y equals -1/3 x plus 4. There it is. Okay, give these practice problems a shot. Let me know if you have questions. I just drew on myself. Have an awesome day.